Welcome to Korvet Aluminum Trawlers. I'm Rob Poirier. Today we're going to give you a tour of the aft cabin of this boat. But the aft cabin is a pretty important area aboard the vessel because it's also access to the technical room, it's access to your steering systems, and most importantly, we're going to give you a tour of the engine room. Like everything else on the Korvet, the steering system is over-engineered. Most important, the rudder posts are so solid that you could literally sit this boat on those rudders. Everything else has got redundancy as well. So not only do you have twin rudders with a twin autopilot system, but it's all managed by the Korvet, which is really a commercial grade system here. All the way aft you can see the variable speed stern thruster. This technical room that you'll find on the starboard side of the aft guest cabin is a really well considered situation such that it puts all these electronics not where a lot of people put them, which is in the engine room, where they're going to suffer a lot of exposure to heat. This is a far more controlled environment and certainly better for, better for supporting and maintaining the systems. This boat is fully wired such that we can plug into a dock here in the US or into Europe or anywhere else in the world for that matter. So as an example, you can see that I've got 50 hertz battery chargers located here on the outboard wall. And just in front of me here on the inside wall of this cabin are the 60 hertz systems. Again, all breaker panels are just above me here. And again, that manages all of those. What you can't see immediately behind me is the Hubble isolation transformer, really the best you can buy for this kind of a boat. And these systems, again, are all located in places that you can get access. The AC and heat on this boat is managed by a thermodynamic system, which is a central system, a chiller type system that's located in the engine room. But there are 4 fan coils, like the one behind me, located throughout the boat. This is a really nice system, and it's something we'll go into more detail about in the future. For a boat that you might be living on for months at a time, it really matters to have a technical room like this, so that all of these units are not located under floorboards or under beds or other hard to get to places. In the forward part of this cabin, you'll notice that, of course, the water maker is located here. Access to the membranes and filters is quite easy. One of the real nice features on this boat is the stabilizer system, which is the Magnus Master. It's so impressive. We're going to do a separate video just on that system. But again, it's all located right here, all accessible right in this cabin. And right below me is a high pressure pump for the water maker. One of the thinking about this room was to put this screen right in the bottom of the cabin door so that the air is naturally circulated to the fan coil in the aft section of the cabin to keep it cooler as well. It's another indication as to the thought that went into this vessel as a long distance passage maker. There's a lot going on in this aft cabin. It's kind of like the conduit to many things. We just showed you the technical room, and of course it's located right here off of the this aft cabin. Also located in the aft cabin is the washer and dryer, which is set up right here. The other thing I like to point out is this hatch. You can almost call it an escape hatch. I think technically it is an escape hatch. Located aft is large enough that it would be pretty easy to sneak out of this cabin onto the swim platform if you wanted to. The last and most important feature in this aft cabin is this doorway that gives you direct access right into the engine room. Access to the engine room is through this solid aluminum door, which contains a lot of sound deadening material. You'll discover that this boat underway is a very quiet boat. The engine room is such a critical part of a boat. In fact, we often like to say that if you only got to visit one area on a boat before making a decision to purchase a boat, it should be the engine room. What I'll do today is give you just an overview of what's going on in here, but we like to consider this an introduction, and in the future we'll come back in here and go into real detail about all of the installations. The first thing you'll realize about this engine room is it was truly designed for somebody with a very ambitious plan. The first thing that's obvious, of course, is the twin engine arrangement. Not a single engine with a kicker to get you home, but 2 real engines. These are 230 horsepower Volvos on twin shafts with 24-inch blades. So it makes a heck of a difference in terms of that kind of planning to have this much horsepower inside your boat. The other thing that's been well thought out, of course, is the access for service. If you're going to go that distance, you're going to need to service this vessel, and you don't want to be pulling the boat apart to be able to do this. All the hose work is silicone, so better for heat, considerations. The boat is also equipped with the AquaDrive systems, contributing to keeping this boat as quiet as possible for those long journeys. We also have the genset. In this case, we have a Northern Lights generator. The boat is a semi-custom boat, so a lot of these features can be adjusted for whatever your interests are. Located on the starboard side, on its own platform, is the thermodynamica heat AC system. And of course, it's connected to all of the various fan coils throughout the boat. And again, in a nice location, easy to access. Right beside, we've got a large Raritan water heater. And you can see here on the outboard side, on both sides, are the fuel tanks. The boat carries approximately 685 US gallons of fuel as standard. Again, these are the things that can be augmented if necessary, if you really want. The other features in this area, you'll notice that Raycor filters are located on the bulkhead. We have a fuel polishing system standard on the boat. I also like to point out that all the lines to the Raycors are all stainless steel lines. One of the big ambitions for this yacht is to create a boat that cruises, as we've said earlier, at 9 to 10 knots, but does so in a nice, comfortable, quiet manner. So the engine room becomes a real priority for sound insulation. You'll see above me sound dampening boards, but before that, there is a paste that is placed on the hulls. There's a foam, again, a sound dampening foam that's inserted next, and again, the sound dampening boards as well on top of all of that. So all of this contributes to a very quiet engine room. You'll also find located in the engine room all of the pumps for the boat, whether it be the high pressure pump for air conditioning, the freshwater system, even the deck wash pumps are located in here. Everything possible to isolate that noise from the living area of the boat. It's obvious to see the practicality that has gone into the boat and the intention of the boat. Between the mechanical systems, the electrical systems, and its own dedicated room, the boat has been well considered by somebody who really understands boating and who's got the experience to know that these are systems you're going to have to deal with on a long passage. Thank you for spending some time with us today. We hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. We're going to spend a lot more time talking about the technical aspects of this boat in the future, especially the engine room, because if you're looking to purchase a vessel for a very ambitious plan, this is going to be the most important part of that decision.